Alakazam, as you can see on screen. So, that being said, so what had happened, so as you can see on screen, both rosters, and then at the top you can see my original build, which are the same 6 Pokemon as my reprep, but there's a minor difference. What had happened was I built my team one day, and then like a few days later we were scheduled to battle, and I woke up and I had my build on my PC, but I wasn't able to get to my PC at the time, so I opened up a laptop and was able to rebuild my team very quickly. And there's a few minor differences, as you can see on screen here. I have in my original build, I had Taunt, Tapu Lele with 3 attacks, Psychic, Moonblast, and Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball, obviously, for the Reuniclus. Mega Garchomp was, not Mega, excuse me. Garchomp was a Stealth Rock, 2 attacks with Swords Dance variant. Suicune was a sub, Toxic, Air Slash, and Scald variant. Air Slash there because it can take a hit from Mega Heracross with max HP and max defense, and it also hits Tangrowth, and I can Toxic it, sub, Air Slash, potentially get a flinch or something like that. And here's the main thing. So I had a Spadef Licky with Dragon Tail, and what Dragon Tail allowed me to do was remove a potential Calm Mind Reuniclus not out of the game, but off of the field. And I also have the knockoff there, which is pretty nice, just to get rid of items, and then Wish Protect, to support Suicune and Crobat. As you can see, I have a defensive Crobat here with Brave Bird, Super Fang, Roost, and Defog. And then last but not least, we have a substitute 3 attacks Mega Alakazam with Psychic, Shadow Ball, and Focus Blast. But in the reprep, things were just a little bit different. Tapu Lele was the same there, as you can see on screen. And Babiri Berry, by the way, so that I can take an Iron Head from a potential Scarf Kyurem on Tapu Lele there. And next up was Garchomp, pretty much the same set, I believe, if not the exact same set. And then here on Suicune, I changed Substitute to Protect because I didn't want to sub up and lose HP over time. Although I could have subbed up on something like Alomomola and thrown off Toxis and stuff like that. But I felt Protect was the better move, so I could scout for things on Kyurem Black as well. And then here, as you can see, I don't have Dragon Tail or Knockoff on Licky. I have Earthquake and Toxic. Not too big of a difference. And instead of being mixed defense on Crobat, I'm actually more defensive, period, with a speed boost in nature. Same set though in terms of moveset and item. And then here, I took Shadow Ball off of Mega Alakazam in place of Calm Mind. And so my team, or his team, is so slow that even without speed EVs, I outspeed his fastest Pokemon, Zapdos, by like 11 points with no speed EVs and a no speed boosting nature. So I'm able to run modest max special attack and max HP this week, which was pretty cool. And sub. See, I can trace Regenerator on Reuniclus, Alomomola, Tangrowth, so I felt sub was pretty okay here, and I could always get my HP back by, just switching in on like Alomomola and then re-switch out or something like that. So, yeah, that's the plan. I don't have a way to hit Reuniclus with the set, but I felt like his Reuniclus would not be a Calm Mind variant. I felt, if anything, it would be like an Assault Vest variant, or like Psyshock, Shadow Ball, Recover, and maybe like a Hidden Power Fire or something like that for Fortress. But I didn't feel that it would be a setup variant because first of all, I have Roar Suicune, I have Haze Crobat, and then things like Tapu Lele, Crobat, Sneasel, Virizion, and Mega Alakazam all get Taunt. Licky gets Dragon Tail. So I felt like I had so many ways around Reuniclus being a setup mon that he probably wouldn't bring it as a Calm Mind variant. Kyurem Black could be a Scarf variant, could be a Specs variant, could be a Life Orb variant, Expert Belt variant, whatever. That thing's a monster. Don't really want to deal with it, but it is what it is. Can't get around it. So Zapdos is pretty much like, as long as I can get a Toxic off with Licky Licky, unless it's like a sub Roost variant, then I should be able to get a Toxic off with Licky Licky and be able to wall it indefinitely. If it goes for Roost, I do have the Earthquake there. And then I have Super Fang on Crobat, and I am EV'd to outpace that as well. So yeah, looks to be a pretty fun match, and we'll go ahead and hop into the battle. We'll be right back. Okay, so here we are with the replay, and my opponent chooses to bring the Incineroar Slurpuff, which I think I mentioned he had Masquerain. I think he actually had Slurpuff. There's a few different mons he had traded for since then, and I have his current roster pulled up. So on when I was talking about my team prep, so so he's got a mon that wasn't in that in Slurpuff, but nonetheless I knew he had it and stuff like that. So, and it's not much different than Masquerain either. Like, it's a setup variant or it's a Webs variant. So it's more than likely a Webs variant with like a Focus Sash and Unburden ability or something like that. Kieran Black, like I mentioned, that thing's a monster. I think in max HP, Suicune and Max Spadef, Licky Licky, and an offensive Garchomp with a Babiri Berry, Tapu Lele, I don't fear it as much as I should. And the Reuniclus, Alamomola, and Tangrowth, the 3-mon regenerator core there, is going to be kind of annoying to deal with. But we can go ahead and hop into the replay and see what's going to go on here. So I'm going to lead off with Tapu Lele. I felt if he leads off with Slurpuff, I can click Taunt. If he leads off with Kieran Black, I don't have to fear the Iron Head, because I do have the Babiri Berry, and I can just go ahead and click the Moonblast and potentially get a knockout. I am max special attack with a Timid Nature, so at the worst, it would be a Speed Tie if he's not Choice Scarf. So I'm just going to click the Taunt here. Don't want him to get Webs up, and he's going to go hard into his Tangrowth. Ooh, excuse me, I do not click Taunt. What is the reason behind that? Oh, because I have Defog Crobat. So going for Psychic there was a fine play. Excuse me. Sorry, it's been a long time. So let's go ahead and get back into the battle here. I'm going to click the Psychic once again here and see what he wants to do here. If he goes into the Reuniclus, I'm just going to click Taunt. I don't want him going for Recover or Calm Mind or anything like that. I can just click the Shadow Ball here and potentially get a 2-hit KO. But like I mentioned, he's more than likely a Spadef variant, and he eats that pretty well, and hard switches out into the Tangrowth here, and I'm not able to get any damage off on the Reuniclus basically because of Regenerator. And here I'm going to go hard into Crobat. I lose my Black Sludge, but I can actually I could have Roosted, I could have Brave Bird or Super Fang there. I don't have Toxic on Crobat, which is a little bit unfortunate. But I am able to get Garchomp in here, and what I can do with Garchomp is start to break down his team. I do pack Swords Dance and the Dragonium Z, so I can set up rocks, or I can attempt to break through his team. I'm going to set up rocks first. I don't want to get the wrong plays at the wrong time, or him bring in Slurpuff and have a Sash attack or anything like that. So I do over half, but he gets his wish back, and he's able to Toxic me, and now I'm whittled down quite a bit. He reveals Protect now as well, so now I'm pretty low on my Garchomp, but I do want to save it, so what I'm going to do is hard switch out into Alakazam. I can Mega Evolve here, and he goes hard out into Reuniclus. as I click sub. And I do not have Shadow Ball, so it's a little bit unfortunate because he reveals Calm Mind here. And like I mentioned in my prep, I do not bring Haze Crobat, I don't bring Roar Coon, and I meant to bring Dragontail Licky Licky, but I actually had that speed prep like I mentioned in the team building video, or team building segment. And here I'm going to go for Toxic, praying that he just switches out into Tangrowth, Fear, and the Roar. But for some reason he does not fear Roar whatsoever. But fair play, I guess. It didn't, hurt him too bad to not scout for Roar, because had I roared him out, he could, obviously just come back in later and reattempt this. And he reveals not to be a Magic Guard variant. Excuse me. He reveals not to be a Regenerator variant and reveals to be Magic Guard instead. So here, I'm just going to throw off my Z move here, and I get a crit. So the previous turn before that, he crit my Tapu Lele and knocked it out with the Psyshock, which is a little bit unfortunate, but I get a return crit on him, which is just detrimental to him, because Reuniclus basically was about to win there within the next 6 or 7 turns. And I'm able to avoid that, and really glad that happened. So what I'm going to do here is go out into Crobat, predicting Tangrowth to come in on my Earthquake, because I obviously couldn't click Dragon Claw. I thought about clicking Dragon Claw, but it wouldn't do enough to Tangrowth anyway to warrant the prediction. So what I'm just going to do here is defog the webs away and roost back up. Now I can hard switch into my Suicune as he goes for the U-turn. I guess that was a fine play as well. And now what my opponent can do is go into his Kyurem Black, and he's going to reveal Substitute. And I am faster, since he's not a Choice Scarf variant. I can break his sub with Dragon Claw there, and he goes for another Substitute. And what this means is he is in range of being 2-hit KO'd by Crobat, and I am the Infiltrator variant, so that I can bypass his sub. And now I'm going to be able to go right on through that. And I think he may have misplayed his Kyurem Black there. I think Ice Beam was the play and not a second substitute. But you can't get all the plays right. So here I hard switch into my Suicune as he brings in, this monster Incineroar. I'm able to get a Toxic off, and I should probably go for the double Toxic here. But I think I just clicked Scald. Ooh, no, I do go for the double Toxic. So really fine play by me. And, well, I guess it could go either way right here, because he could get webs up, but he actually goes for the Thunderbolt just to get damage off on my Suicune, and he gets webs up on the following turn. I just go for Scald here because it wasn't likely that he clicks T-Bolt again when I do have Licky Licky and Mega Alakazam in the back that would basically take nothing from both of those moves. And here he's able to, he reveals Hidden Power first of all, and then he's able to knock off my lefties on my Licky Licky, but I'm able to Toxic him. So 2 of his last 3 mons are poisoned, and that's going to be really nice for me. So I can just keep switching into Suicune indefinitely versus the Incineroar, because I'm going to take no damage, and I get my Wish back there, which is really nice because, I was getting pretty low on Suicune, and Incineroar is actually a huge threat to my team at this point. So, now he brings in his Tangrowth once again. He goes for the Giga Drain. I'm kind of PP stalling it at the same time, but I don't want to lose anything, and definitely not my Suicune, because like I said, with webs up, if Incineroar is left on field unchecked, then I could potentially lose. So what I need to do here is eventually get my Crobat in. He misses a Toxic there, by the way, which is kind of big, but not as big as the rest of things, because what I'm trying to do here is get rid of webs and then bring in Mega Alakazam on the Alomomola. Once I'm able to do that, I'm able to set up a sub. Once I set up a sub, I can click Calm Mind and then start knocking things out left and right. So here I'm going to go back into my Suicune. I don't mind if it's poisoned or burned by Scald, which would have been the preferable outcome there, but I don't get that, so that's fine. What I'm going to do is double out into my Crobat here, and now I'm able to roost up. I could defog as well, but I think Roost was the better play there. And like I mentioned, I do not want to give this thing any kind of chance to get a knockout, or for me to not get my webs, get the webs gone, not my webs, but the webs gone. So I'm always going to switch into Suicune when he brings in the Incineroar. I'm able to defog here finally. And now webs are gone. So now the next step, I think all three of his Pokemon are poisoned at this point. Maybe Incineroar is not yet poisoned. But the next step of my master plan is to get Alakazam in on the Alomomola. And I don't think this is the play, because I think he would more than likely want to switch out here. But I am going to hard switch into my Mega Alakazam, as if he attacks, I can just switch out the following turn, thanks to Regenerator. But he does reveal that Giga Drain can break my sub, although I am max HP. So he must have a little bit of special attack investment on his Tangrowth. And what I can do is just hard switch back into my Crobat. And with that being said, I am back up to like 80-some% with Mega Alakazam because of the Regenerator ability. And here I double back into Mega Alakazam as my opponent brings in the Alomomola. So I get that right. I can sub up again because of the Regenerator. Tracing the Regenerator, and I missed the Focus Blast here. So a little bit unfortunate, but I did get a crit earlier, and he did miss a poison or a toxic earlier. So I'm fine with that, and I just got to be patient at this point. I think I can win the game as long as I can get Alakazam back in on the Alomomola and click substitute one more time. So I just roost up here. He brings in the Incineroar. Obviously, I'm going back into my Suicune. That is just It's what's going to happen every time at this point. And I could click Air Slash here, but Protect is my best play. It lets me scout to see what he wants to go for. And now, like, I bring in my Crobat. If he goes for Giga Drain, it doesn't do much. He gets a crit there, but that doesn't matter whatsoever. I am burned anyway, so Brave Bird's not going to be doing much. So I just choose to Roost. I could have Super Fang there and took half from this Alomomola, but what I want to do is get Alakazam in on a Protect or a Wish or Following Wish. But I missed the Super Fang here. Not a big deal, as he actually goes for the Toxic, knowing that Super Fang or Brave Bird can't kill because I am burned. And I'm just going to go for another Super Fang here. This Regenerator core is very, very annoying. As you can see, it's starting to get to that point where he's just switching around a little bit. Predicting my moves and stuff like that. Basically, he could theoretically, he could PP stall me with his, like a never-ending switch around. Because even though I'm a Crobat and he has Tangrowth, I can't do much with Brave Bird because I am burned and Tangrowth is just really, really, really bulky. So, like I mentioned before, the plan is just to get Mega Alakazam in on a Protect or double switch, anything like that, and see what can happen here. I go for the Brave Bird there, and what he's going to get here is his Wish back, but thankfully all of his Pokemon are poisoned, and I have like switch-ins to all of his Mons at this point. It's just going to take a long and patient game here, but I can win. Despite, how annoying it would be to win. So he's going to go for the Flare Blitz here. I think I'm just going to click Wish on this turn, because either he's going to go for the Flare Blitz and then I can pass a Wish into Suicune, or he's going to U-turn out. And what I'm going to do here is pass my Wish off into the Crobat so that I can avoid having to roost up. And I can double here, and I think that's my best play because the Alomomola is very likely. And now I can click Sub again. So I did get that play right, and now I can click Sub again. And then I can Calm Mind up as well and see what he wants to go for here. So I'm going to click Psychic first though to see how much damage I can do. And it looks like next time if I get a sub up, what I can do is click Calm Mind. But he does hard switch into the Incineroar right after, and I'm going to click the Focus Blast here, knock out the Incineroar. My opponent said he thought he could live that. He underestimated how much Focus Blast would actually do. And now he brings in the Alomomola, which I think was a misplay. I think you needed to break my sub first and then bring in Alomomola, or pass off a Wish here. But what I'm going to do is start Calm Minding up here. I don't mind what he does really, and I think at this point I'm in range to 2-hit KO both of his Pokemon, and Tangrowth is going to be able to break my sub, but Alomomola can't do much damage to me, so I think that's a game right there. I might even Oko this. I do Oko this, and that's going to be a good game. Unfortunate that he got a crit, I got a crit, he missed a poison, I missed a Super Fang, and then I think he got another crit. But some of it was kind of irrelevant, and I do think Reuniclus was going to sweep me. But Garchomp the God coming through, so thank goodness for that. Mega Alakazam racking up some kills here, really nice. My favorite Pokemon. So yeah, that's good. Good game to Sean, aka Blind Messiah. The dude has been invited to the International Draft Masters, so look out for that for season 3. And yeah, gonna be moving on to 5-1 now after 6 weeks of play. Going into week 7, we're playing our boy Joey, who's been helping us a lot with logos and making things transparent. A lot of GFX stuff like that. So yeah, looking forward to that. He's got a pretty threatening squad as well, with a very nice Fairy Dragon Steel Core that I'll talk about in my next WSS video. So let me know what you thought about the battle. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.